welcome back for another deep dive. It seems like every day there's some crazy new AI development. And, well, today is no different. We're going to be looking at some pretty interesting announcements specifically from Alibaba and DeepSeek, two pretty major players in the AI world right now. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand exactly what they're doing, why it's such a big deal, and, get ready for some big whoa moments.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it really is. So first up, let's talk about Alibaba. Most people think of them as like the Amazon of China, this huge e-commerce company. But it looks like they're really serious about AI too. A new article from Morningstar just came out today, and it says that Alibaba just revealed this new version of their large language model. It's called Qwen 2.5 Max. And get this, they're claiming that it actually beats out some of the top AI models out there, like DeepSeek v3 and even OpenAI's GPT-4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. At least according to Alibaba's own benchmark tests. So,
Yeah.
we'll have to see if that holds up once other people start testing it out.
Yeah, of course. But even if their claims are a bit exaggerated, this is still a huge move from Alibaba. I mean, it shows that they're really trying to compete on the global AI stage.
Absolutely. And the article goes into some of the details about how they achieved this supposed performance boost. Apparently, they trained Qwen 2.5 Max on this gigantic data set. I'm talking tons of text and code. And they really focused on making it good at things like complex reasoning and code generation.
Makes sense. I mean, everyone's trying to create these AI models that can do more than just chat. They want models that can actually solve real-world problems.
Exactly. And Alibaba is clearly aiming for that with Qwen 2.5 Max.
It's really interesting to think about the implications of this. Like, what if we have AI that can write code as well as humans can? Or even better, what could that mean for different industries?
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. So we've got Alibaba stepping up their game. But now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about DeepSeek. This is a Chinese AI startup that's been making some headlines lately.
Yeah.
They've got this model called R1, which they're saying is super powerful when it comes to problem solving, like on par with GPT-4, but supposedly a lot more cost-effective.
More cost-effective.
Yeah.
That's definitely interesting. If they can achieve that kind of performance with fewer resources, it could be a real game changer.
Yeah, exactly. It could open up access to powerful AI tools for smaller companies and researchers who maybe couldn't afford it before.
Right. It could really level the playing field.
And DeepSeek isn't just talking the talk. They've already got this AI assistant app powered by their DeepSeek v3 model. And it's been a huge hit in the US, like it's been topping the iPhone download charts.
Wow. So they're clearly doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. But here's where things take a bit of a darker turn. DeepSeek also just announced that they were targeted by some pretty serious cyber attacks. And they had to actually limit new user registrations because of it. That's not good. I mean, it's a reminder that as AI becomes more powerful, it also becomes a bigger target for hackers and malicious actors.
For sure. And the consequences could be pretty scary.
Absolutely. It's not just about data breaches anymore. I mean, what if someone was able to actually manipulate the AI models themselves? That could have huge implications.
Yeah, it's a pretty unsettling thought. And this whole situation has even caught the attention of the U.S. government. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said that the National Security Council is actually looking into DeepSeek's launch and any potential national security risks.
Well, it's not surprising that governments are starting to pay attention. AI is becoming a major factor in global competition, both economically and in terms of national security.
Right. And when you have a foreign company developing such powerful AI models and gaining a lot of users in another country, it's bound to raise some eyebrows.
Even OpenAI, which is one of the leading U.S. AI research companies, they've acknowledged that companies all over the world are trying to essentially copy or distill, as they put it, the leading U.S. AI models. And they've even emphasized how important it is to work with the government to protect these sensitive technologies.
That's interesting. It sounds like there's a growing concern about intellectual property theft in the AI field.
Yeah, it seems like it. So we've got this really fascinating situation unfolding right now. On one hand, we had these amazing advancements in AI from companies like Alibaba and DeepSeek. But on the other hand, there are these serious concerns about security threats, potential misuse, and even international rivalries playing out in the AI arena.
Yeah, it's a very complex landscape, and it's only going to get more complicated as AI continues to evolve.
Absolutely. So we've just scratched the surface here, but we'll dive deeper into all of this in the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it. It's like we're living in a science fiction movie, except it's actually happening.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing, but also a little scary at the same time. We've been talking about Alibaba and DeepSeek.
Yeah.
But they're just the tip of the iceberg. AI is already everywhere, even if we don't always realize it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, think about finance. Those algorithmic trading systems, they're already using AI to make these lightning-fast decisions, moving billions of dollars around the world.
Wow.
Or personalized medicine. AI is being used to analyze genetic data and create custom treatment plans for patients.
And even in entertainment. Think
Yeah.
about Netflix or Spotify. They use AI to recommend shows and music based on our preferences.
Right. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
But as AI gets more and more sophisticated, it also raises some serious questions. Like one of the big ones I keep hearing about is job displacement.
Right.
As AI becomes capable of doing more and more tasks, what happens to all the people whose jobs are automated?
Yeah, that's a valid concern for sure. And it's something we need to be proactive about.
So what do we do?
Well, throughout history, new technologies have always disrupted the job market. Some jobs disappear, but new ones are created.
Right. The key is to anticipate those changes and make sure people have the skills they need to adapt.
So it's not about trying to stop AI progress, but about making sure people are prepared for the new opportunities that emerge.
Exactly. We need to focus on things like reskilling and upskilling programs, helping people transition into roles that require, creativity, critical thinking, those kinds of skills that are harder for AI to replicate.
That makes sense. And beyond the whole job displacement issue, there are also broader societal implications to consider. Like, how do we make sure that AI is developed and used ethically in a way that benefits everyone?
Right. That's a fundamental question.
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
No, there isn't. We need to really think about the values we're embedding into these AI systems and the potential consequences of their actions.
So, like, if an AI system is trained on biased data, could it end up making biased decisions?
Absolutely. That's a huge concern. We need to be very mindful of the data that's used to train AI and make sure it's as unbiased as possible. And I guess transparency is important too. We need to be able to understand how AI systems are making decisions.
Yeah, definitely. Transparency and accountability are crucial. We need to be able to audit these systems, make sure they're operating fairly and ethically.
It's a lot to think about. It feels like we're at this really crucial point in history with all this incredible potential, but also all these risks.
I agree. The decisions we make now about AI will have a huge impact on the future.
So what can we do to make sure AI is a force for good?
Well, one of the most important things is education. We need to create a more AI-literate society.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, people need to have a basic understanding of how AI works, its limitations, and its potential impact on society.
So it's not just about teaching people how to code.
No, not at all. It's about helping them understand the broader implications of AI so they can be informed citizens.
I like that.
We need people who can think critically about AI, ask the right questions, and hold those developing AI accountable.
And along with education, do you think regulations are important?
Definitely. We need regulations to set boundaries and make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
So things like data privacy, algorithmic bias.
Exactly. We need to address those issues head on.
But we also don't want to stifle innovation.
Right. It's about finding the right balance.
So education, regulations, transparency. It seems like collaboration is key too. We need everyone working together to figure this out.
Absolutely. We need researchers, industry leaders, policymakers, and the public all working together.
That's a global challenge.
It is. But I think it's also an incredible opportunity.
Shape the future of AI.
Exactly.
Pretty exciting time to be alive.
It is.
Even with all the challenges.
Yeah. The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in that story.
Okay, so we've talked about all these advancements in AI,
Yeah.
the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. But now I'm wondering, what do we actually do with all this information? Where do we go from here?
Right. It can feel a little overwhelming. I think the first thing we need to do is kind of shift our perspective a bit.
Yeah.
Instead of getting caught up in all the hype or the fear about AI, we should try to think of it more as a tool.
Okay, kind of cool.
Yeah, like a really powerful tool, obviously, but still just a tool. And once we start thinking about it that way, we can start asking some more practical questions, like what can we actually use this tool for? How can we use it safely and effectively? And what are the potential downsides we need to watch out for?
I see what you mean. So it's kind of like how we approach any new technology. We figure out what it can do, what its limits are, and then we learn how to use it responsibly.
Exactly. And just like with any powerful tool, education is key. We need to make sure people understand the basics of AI, how it works, what it's good at, and what its limitations are.
We've talked about AI literacy before, but what would that actually look like in the real world?
Well, imagine if we started teaching basic AI concepts in schools,
Hmm.
right alongside math and science. So kids would grow up understanding things like the difference between machine learning and deep learning, or how to spot misleading claims about AI.
I like that. It would create a generation of people who are more informed about AI
Yeah.
and less likely to be swayed by hype or fear-mongering.
Exactly. And along with education, we also need to have clear guidelines and regulations for AI development.
Right, because without some kind of guardrails,
Yeah,
it's easy to imagine things going wrong.
absolutely. We need regulations that protect things like data privacy
Yeah.
and prevent algorithmic bias. But at the same time, we don't want to stifle innovation.
It's a tough balance to strike.
It is, but it's essential.
So we've got education, we've got regulations. It seems like collaboration is crucial too, right?
Oh, absolutely. We need everyone working together on this. Researchers, industry leaders, policymakers, the public. We all have a role to play.
It's a global challenge that requires a global solution.
It really does.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of AI. It's a complex and rapidly evolving field, but it's also incredibly exciting. And the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to shape its future. So stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring the amazing world of AI. Until next time.